Good evening, everyone.
Hi. Let's see, Neil, do you know if Roger's coming? Oh, there he is.
As far as I know,
Yeah, no, here he is. I just let him in. We'll let him join us. So here in the room, we have Dale, Stephen, Molly, Penny, and I. Elaine is away on vacation. And Brad's gonna be 20 minutes late. But we have a quorum, so we can start.
Is Heather planning on coming, do you know, Andrea?
Yeah, okay, so we'll wait a minute. We'll wait a minute. So Andrea.
It's
I
okay
have
if you
got-
start too. That's okay.
Okay, all right, so we'll go ahead and start. So first on the agenda is public comment, and I don't see anyone from the public here. So we'll go on to the next item on the agenda, which is the construction update. Oh, we have to do minutes. Sorry, Elaine's not here, so that's good. I'm glad somebody's paying attention.
Well, I have
So we have minutes from August 28th, which Penny sent out, and there have been Penny received a couple of corrections. One correction.
I misspelled public.
Okay.
Always
And, yes, and so Penny has made that correction, so, so do I hear any other questions or comments about the minutes? No? Do I hear a motion to accept the minutes as
I move
corrected?
we accept the corrected minutes from the 28th.
I'll second it.
Okay, and we'll have, any other discussion? Okay, good, all right, well, roll call vote, Antonella's aye.
Down the side.
Pool eye.
Kate's eye, Moss eye.
Blackenbush abstain.
Okay, so those minutes pass. Okay, great. Already, so then the next item would be a construction update. Roger, do you want to give us an update?
Certainly. I guess most of you came by earlier in the week. So you saw how much things have changed since the last time you were in. So I guess since the last meeting, they've continued with finished electrical, putting in emergency lights and fire alarm devices on the walls. With mechanical, they've set the equipment outside on the support structures and have done the connections and the piping and insulating and charging the refrigerant systems. So that's still ongoing as far as interior mechanical work with duct work and grills and diffusers. They did the moisture mitigation and the self-leveling overlayment the end of the month, last month. So they've been still moving around on the inside. I think next week they might start some flooring, according to Mark today. Additionally, they will be working on the west side, preparing for the paved walkways. And this week they continued and did some more light pole bases and site lighting conduits. They'll be backfilling those tomorrow. They poured the concrete today for the sign base out at Leverett Road. Some of the miscellaneous things around the site till they can get the majority of the site opened up on the east side. Yesterday and today they arrived and installed the sliding glass walls that separate the meeting room and the children's area. We don't have a date yet for the teens room area. that glazing system. Hopefully the next few days will have permanent power. National Grid came by yesterday for a brief few minutes to check things out and check on their work order. So hopefully within a few days we'll have that. Still waiting on that with the meter. They're still working away, telling us that they're going to be ready mid-October.
Do you believe them?
It's
No,
going to be very close. There's a lot to do in 4 weeks. But still
But
good.
a lot has happened, so,
What's that?
a lot has happened.
A lot has
Yeah.
happened. Yes, it has increased in the pace. There were lots of people inside today, which is a good thing still. The exterior is mostly done. The last few things on the exterior are the downspouts and a little bit of flashing. They've done the concrete pads and pavers on the west side that connect to the walkways, so they should be very close to being able to get that side of the building finished. I think they want to start at least preparing for the walkways and possibly, as Mark said today, possibly paving some of those walkways on the west side in the next week or so to get that out of the way. But still, permanent power would be nice. Be a little more definitive on when the systems could get started up.
Roger, just to put an exclamation point on that, we've done everything on our end to be ready for permanent power. It's just the utility company now following through on their end. Is that a correct statement?
That's correct, yes.
Okay,
They did come by yesterday and had previously verified that the building is ready.
okay, thank you.
I think that's it. Any other questions?
How many things are held up until you have permanent power? Like, it seems like you still can't start on, the leach field, those sort of things.
This week they've been moving materials around on the site. They've taken those extra metal roofing panels across the street, so they're getting the site cleared of materials so that they can work. Does that answer your question? I just don't have any dates on that yet. Haven't seen that.
I understood that from our last meeting, that until there was permanent power, you couldn't hook up the water. And the trailers can't be moved, and so the raised septic system can't be put in, and all that site work down there can't happen.
Well, I think it just keeps being a matter of days for permanent power. If we had to move it, if the building was ready that Mark, as my offices could be moved inside there, then running off their generator would be fine. That's not necessarily impacting the trailers. I wouldn't think it's so much needing power there. They've got a generator. It impacts when you can start up the mechanical systems. And I think we're getting close to that being a factor.
So I think I noticed today, so there was an HVAC issue, so the mechanical engineer came out and did an inspection and found 2 places where HVAC equipment didn't have their required clearances by code for technicians to get in there and be able to work on them. And so
Yes, in the last few days, they've been working on making those corrections.
yeah, I saw that that electrical box had been moved this morning, and then there was somebody working on the other side in the team room, so that worked. So they actually got on that. CDI got on that very quickly.
Yes.
Yeah, and are working on that, which is good. So, so that was something that we were, in the conversations, we were afraid would slow things down, but it doesn't appear to have slowed things down, which is good. So, I met on the site this morning with Gil Huntress and Graham Sefton. And we looked at the locations where the wireless access points will go. There'll be one outside the entry doors, one outside the doors on the opposite side, and then one inside the storage room and the meeting room. And then there'll be a router in the storage room with the staff, near the staff workroom. There's infrastructure in place to put another wireless access point in the children's room if it's needed, but they don't think it will be. So the same company that installed all the wiring is going to, all of the Cat 6 cable is going to install the wireless access points. And then Shell will come and install the router that's in the trailer as soon as they have power. Shell is the internet company.
What is it again?
Shell, it's the same internet company. Yeah. So that's good. The broadband committee got a grant that paid for the router and the switch and the wireless access points, and is also buying the library a couple of laptops and hybrid meeting equipment for the small study. So that's really nice.
Yeah.
I've ordered some of that equipment and will be ordering the rest. So that's really good. So that we have that, it's just, some of it is bonus equipment, like a high-end gaming laptop for the team room. And then I think we always would have wanted hybrid meeting equipment in the small study, but we maybe wouldn't have been able to start from the beginning with that. Now we can. So, yeah, that's really good.
What grant is that?
I don't know. The grant is also paying Shell to install the internet in the building, so we're not gonna be billed for that. The grant is paying for that, so that's really good too. So, yeah,
Sure, good.
yes,
Didn't you also get a, first payment for the MVP grant?
yeah, so the MVP grant paid from fiscal year 25, they paid for the solar panels, and that payment has come in. So, even though we redid that contract at least 3 times, I think it was actually 4 times. And they said they were gonna pay it. It was just really nice to actually have that money come through. So, that was good news that I got this week. It came several weeks ago, but I just didn't ask about it. So anyway, that was good. So, and they're paying for the installation of the solar panels too. So, okay, which is great.
Yep.
So,
It is.
yeah, okay. Yeah. So that's a construction update. So Roger, what other landscaping work? Does anybody else have any questions about construction? No. What landscaping work has been done?
The only thing they did is they are getting some samples for the compost delivered to the site. Which so they can prepare the blended samples for analysis.
Okay.
Um,
And when do you expect planting to start happening?
I haven't any date for that.
Or,
Usually they would like to have the binder down on the paved areas and then the landscaping before they do the final coat of paving, just so it doesn't get marked up. But I don't know that sequence is gonna work out. But at this point, I don't have any date for.
Okay,
Roger, aren't they in the
Landscaping.
process of tagging the plantings at the nursery?
I think they were trying to set up a time, and that may be tomorrow, if I remember any date given. Between landscaper and the landscape designers.
Well, I know from, an exchange with Dominic that they have located most of the trees and shrubs they need, a few they can't find, which considering the time in the growing season and versus trying to liquidate stock at this point isn't much of a surprise, but, they're trying to track down a few more things and, or find substitutes for them. But here's what I'm still really worried about, and I know I harp on this each time. There's all those big grassy areas that need to be planted this fall, and I'm just seeing that window get squeezed, and they're not anywhere close to being able to do that.
They will, I would, if I was willing to be a betting man, I would guess that they will seed this year, even if it's outside of the planting window. And they will be responsible to establish the turf as required by the plans and specs prior to acceptance by the owner. If that means they have to come back in the spring and re-rake it and reseed it, they'll do it. But it's likely that they will seed it and shoot it this year just to stabilize it over the winter and get any grass that will take late in the growing season to get established. That's my guess.
Then how will they water it?
How will they what?
Water it?
Water it? They probably won't water it this fall, but obviously they'll have to do whatever it takes in order to get it established, whether it's bringing in water by tank or utilizing whatever minimal water that we can pull from the well. The requirement for watering, maintenance, and establishment of the turf is in the specification, so they are aware that they'll have to provide water at the site.
I mean, it's kind of a double-edged deal because the big pile of loam is where the parking lot's gonna be. So, I mean, that's gonna have to get distributed fairly soon to get going on the whole parking lot. Driveway completion. So. Hopefully it's on every, it's working its way to the top of the list of things to do.
So Elaine, does anybody else have questions about landscaping?
Well, I just want to remind everyone that the order of conditions that the Conservation Commission issued for the project has specifications about timing and also about making sure the site is secure from erosion. So, keep bringing that up.
Bringing it up.
Bringing it up.
Okay. So Elaine had update on budget on the agenda. Neil, you sent did you send a budget last
I did.
week?
Sent
You
it out
did.
last week. I'll
You
be happy
did.
to share if you can.
If I can make it so you can share, I think you can share. Okay, there you go. Okay.
Okay, you should be seeing the detail.
There we go.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll show you the recap as it was presented in our monthly report, and then I'll open it up for the detail. So as of September 10th, which was the conclusion of the August invoices, we're roughly 68% complete on anticipated costs. Our cost to date is just over $6 million, and we have about just under $3 million remaining in anticipated expenditures within the budget. In detail, our contract is OPM. We've got approximately $52,000 left to bill for our remainder of CA services, as well as our closeout phase services once we've received substantial completion. A&E services are roughly 90% complete. Again, $80,000 remaining to bill, with $864,000 to date. Commissioning has billed a little over half, at $29,000 invoiced, with $20,000 remaining to be billed. Largely, those costs are contributed to the startup and warranty phase services that they'll provide over the next year. Construction services, again, 4.7 million billed, 1.9%, I'm sorry, 1.9 million remaining. Project expenses, we're looking very favorably on a budget of 195,000. We've billed out just over 78,000 and have about 115,000 remaining in unallocated expenses. So that's a good number to keep an eye on in terms of potentially returning that to contingency at the conclusion of the project. Furnishings and equipment, we haven't seen any invoices or haven't processed any invoices through our office. So the full $315,000 remains in the budget. And in terms of our contingency, we've got about $400,000 in contingency remaining in unallocated expenses coming in. That said, we do have some outstanding liability for project change orders, but the work that we've done on the budget and the budget update to date includes the 4 change orders that have been executed and incorporated into the GC's contract. So again, from a cost position, we're targeting, I would say at this point, probably coming in under the 8.8 million in the total budget, or 8.9 million in the total project budget. Exactly how much will depend on how the next 60 to 90 days go in terms of closing up the project and reconciling any outstanding change orders that will be presented for consideration by the project. I'm happy to take any questions that the committee may have on the budget.
Does that include the extra money for OPM and architect fees?
Yes.
Because of-
Yes, the proposal for $30,000 is reflected by the architect for their extended services, and the 51,000 for our services is reflected as well.
Okay. That sounds good.
So Neil, when you said there's roughly 400,000 in contingencies, is that a combination of the remaining miscellaneous project costs and the project contingency?
No, the project contingency right now is about $416,000 in change in unallocated contingency. On top of that is another $116,000 in project expenses that will likely not be fully expended. Where, I don't know if you can see my screen, but my cursor is circling that 116,509 number. Once that $116,000 right now is for items like testing services, any remaining utility back charges, moving expenses, printing and advertising, which we shouldn't incur any additional cost, and legal fees, which we haven't encountered any costs yet. So we anticipate some of those line items will be returned unspent at the conclusion of the work.
So it sounds like we're in reasonably good shape.
I think we're in a good position. Schedule-wise, we're getting killed, but budget-wise, we're still solid.
So are we likely to lose some of the, how do I say this? The benefits that we're seeing in the budget if the project is continued again?
I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time understanding the question. Say it again, please, Penny.
So so right now, I understand like mid-October is the date that they're aiming for substantially complete. If they ask for another extension, will that cut into all these numbers?
If if the professional services were to be extended, yes. If they manage to get it wrapped up, like I said, in the next 90 days, and we're not there beyond, I'm gonna say, probably the 1st of November, I would say we're solid with what we have.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions about the budget? Okay, thanks, Neil.
All
Thanks for
set.
sharing that.
I will stop sharing if I can
Okay,
find the right
Great.
window here.
okay. So the other thing that I, under new, other unanticipated business, is the bird stuff that I sent, the bird safe information that I sent out today.
So the windows that we have,
Mhm,
this was not taken into consideration.
right.
No.
Right. So, and somebody brought it up, a townsperson brought it up to me. A long time ago, and I, at the time, I didn't want to consider anything that would add to the cost of the building, because I was, it may have even have come up before we went out to bid, and, but in any case, you know, our goal was to get the building built. So since then, a couple of things have happened. I, was selected to participate in a grant from the Space Science Institute called Flight Path, which, gives a tiny little bit of money for programming about bird migration and bird safety. But it gives a lot of information. So I have since I already knew that bird strikes on windows were an issue. It happens at my house. But I've learned about how to prevent bird strikes. So I went back and I looked at information that townsperson had sent me from, the Department of Fish and Wildlife. And I talked to Dominic about it a little bit, and he sent me information about a different product that you could affix to windows. And then the Flight Path, also recommends the same product, which is the one that I sent you all today. Yes, yeah, so it was used at the Hitchcock Center, and it was used at, the Fish and Wildlife Facility in Hadley. So I've been talking to, and I forget what they're called now, but I sent it to everybody here today. Is it Feather Friendly? I
Yes,
think it
so.
is, yeah. So it's a film with dots or squares or rectangles on it at regular intervals that gets applied to the exterior of the windows. It has I think it's a 6-year warranty for commercial buildings. But has lasted up to 15 years in places. It can be washed. And it has to be affixed to the exterior of the windows. Because that's where birds will see it. They don't see things if you put things on the interior of the windows. That's why all of my efforts at home haven't worked. I've been trying all kinds of things, without any success. So I think we have an opportunity to do it now before the building opens. And so that people's experience of the building will always have this project on all of the windows.
Have you visited any of these places where it's been?
I have not,
I'm just,
yeah,
I mean, I'm
Yeah.
very supportive of this.
Yes.
But I'm curious what.
I
others
know.
think.
Yeah, so I just learned just yesterday, that it's at the Hitchcock
Right.
Center and at the Fish and Wildlife. It will change our experience of the exterior of the building and our experience of the interior of the building. You won't see it as much from the interior as the birds will see it from the exterior, or will see it from the exterior. But it will prevent,
It'll reduce the light that comes through.
No,
They're little tiny
No.
ducks and they're,
yeah,
you know, and it's not like they're black ducks, I don't know what they look like.
they're almost like an opaque white, and, you know, like I've sent the pictures.
Yeah. It was hard to tell.
Yes, I know, it's hard to
Yeah, I
tell,
think it's hard
Yes.
to
Um,
get an idea unless you see it.
yes, and it's not something that we can really do ourselves. You know, we could do the lower windows ourselves, but there really aren't any lower windows, you know, but this building has a lot of large windows. A lot of windows that are very high up, and it has a lot of windows that, like, you could be standing on one side of the building. Like, so the windows in the children's room, for instance, you can be standing on the west side and see all the way through the east side, and that is something that birds will
Right.
see and think that they can fly through. And so we've put this library in a setting that is very attractive to birds.
We're trying to attract even
And
more
we're
birds.
trying to make the surroundings very bird friendly. To, you know, where we're enhancing the meadow, and our plantings will be beneficial to birds by you know, by having things birds eat.
Big
And
rules of bird
right,
houses.
we're gonna put bird houses up. And then have the birds crashing into the windows.
Boring.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I think that it's, especially for a public building, it is, the responsible thing to do is to put this on the windows now before, before we
So it's
open.
normal.
So it's normal, and then just coincidentally, the library is going to be an education center for a limited amount of time with a very small amount of money. So we're gonna have some bird, friendly programming. Andrew, you have a question?
I was just gonna say, it's not unlike fritting, if you've ever seen fritting on glass, that has like the ceramic fritting to minimize heat transfer into spaces.
Yeah.
And also, like, if you've been to Mass General, I don't know if you've been to Mass General or the Lunder Building, but on the higher up, they have this all over the place, and it doesn't detract from the experience really. It still brings in the light and the so it's fine in terms of the experience.
Yeah.
Dominic was okay with it.
Yes, well, Dominic,
He's going to be okay
is
with
the
it.
architect, he is not the owner. But
But
yeah.
I mean, I just.
When I mentioned this issue to Dominic, it wasn't something he was aware of. Right, but then he did send me a product, and then he sent me, I asked him the square footage of the windows so that I could give that to, this company. Let's see, so there's a company, it's a big company that
So-
installs this product.
Okay,
Um,
so we don't have to install it ourselves.
no, and so, cause I asked Neil. Being our owner's project manager, whose job it is to advise me on things. I said to him, if we got the product, could the contractor install it? And he said it made more sense for us to find somebody else to install it, so I spoke, so Feathered Friendly uses contractors and a company called window. Something, I can't see it, it's too small, but anyway, but they have an office in Springfield. So, and an office in Worcester, and it's so funny, like I spoke to this man today, and he was at the MHEC conference, so they're, right, and I was like, oh, cause I thought of going, but we've really purchased almost everything we're going to purchase, and the things I need, like I need computer equipment, and I know the vendor. So, who has a question? Okay, Roger. Okay, what's your question, Roger? Roger, do you have a question?
I do
Your hand
not,
is up.
no.
Okay,
And that's
Oh.
the first.
that's the cursor. Okay, sorry, Roger, your hand's not up. Okay. So anyway.
I have a question.
Who has the question?
Yeah.
I do.
Okay.
I don't have an issue with what you're asking for. Can we just check, make sure it doesn't in some way void the warranty on the windows or the glass?
Okay, that's a good question. So, I'll have Dominic do that. That's, that's a very good question.
And I'm sorry if I missed it, but did you get an idea of how much this will cost?
So, so the Feathered Friendly folks said it was, 12 to $15 per square foot.
Square feet do we have?
A lot of square feet. So up to, so it's about 1,000 square feet. So it's $15,000.
Is that just for the product or installation too?
Well, I think we need to get the quote from this guy. So what I would like to do is have us have a meeting soon. I'll get that quote, because this wouldn't be a change order. So this wouldn't be something that just Elaine and Jeff and I could approve. So this committee would need to approve it, and I couldn't get a quote for tonight. So maybe we could meet next week. And then I'll have that information about it affecting the warranty and the price.
Mary Ann, I would also ask Dominic to have, to put together a proposal request, and we can ask the glazing contractor on the project for a price as well. So you'll have a competing price. And then
Okay,
your vendor from Springfield, when you ask him for a proposal, please make sure that you send him the prevailing wage sheets with it, and make sure that he
Okay.
understands that the labor for the installation is subject to prevailing wage.
okay.
Yep. Good point.
Good point. How often do they update those prevailing wage sheets?
If we're within the original year of the contract, what we have should be current, and if it isn't, we can request an update from the Department of Labor, and it usually comes out within 48 hours.
Okay, so I think that you gave me prevailing wage sheet when I
Recently,
was,
though, right?
yeah, recently, yeah.
I think I did
yeah,
them I think I did the update in the spring. Let me just see.
Yeah, when I was talking to AV vendors, so
Yeah.
that was fairly
Right.
recently, okay.
Yep.
Okay, so I will email Dominic and ask him to get a proposal from the glazing company to do all the exterior windows and to make sure that it doesn't void the warranty, and I'll send him the product so that he has the information, the product information.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Is this an MBLC shared cost or is this all of us? Yes, MBLC? Yay.
Yes, as long as so we have a figure that the board voted on, and as far as we know, preliminarily, this should not exceed the cost that we've already approved.
Great, good, okay. So, all right, so we're also gonna get Dominic to get us a proposal. We do wanna move quickly on this because because this can't be installed, once it gets cold.
So they'll just take the stickers off. Or those on the inside.
The stickers, well, they have to take all of that stuff off and wash the windows,
Right.
and so they have to do that first.
Right.
So, I don't know if there are any stickers on the outside, but so why don't we meet in, they're not on the outside, I think they're all on the outside, yeah. So why don't we meet in 2 weeks? And
Just do this
and just do
by
this.
Zoom.
Um,
Or do you want
yeah,
that
we
in
can do it by
person?
Zoom, yeah, that's
Can't just
fine,
hang out after the special town meeting.
yeah, we can, so I can't go to the special town meeting, so, okay. But that's good, we won't do it that night, so let's see, so today is the 18th. What about October 2nd?
There's a. dinner
That's a
party.
Thursday.
That's Thursday, the dinner is the third,
Third.
okay.
And it's gonna be like a 15 minute.
Right, it's gonna be a quick meeting,
Probably.
what about the first?
I'm out until.
I'm not available the first.
I'm out until the sixth.
Yeah, okay,
That period around the first, second, third, I don't think.
okay.
I'm not available, so.
You're not available the second, okay. So that's two, we don't know about Elaine.
What about the 29th? Do you think you'd be ready by then, or do you wanna do it?
Why don't we make them be ready by the 29th? Well, I have a meeting at 7:30, we could have a meeting at 7 on the 29th.
Sure.
A short meeting,
7, 4 o'clock, probably not.
no? Steven,
I'm gonna be in
I'm
trouble
okay.
because I leave next week.
yes, on the 29th.
Yeah, at 7.
Okay, 29th at 7, it's a Monday. Okay,
Jack?
Jeff,
Fine.
okay, alrighty, let's do that, the 29th at 7. And then I'll just make Dominic get that proposal by then. And I'll make the other guy get the proposal by then too. Okay, alright, good, thank you. Any other questions about that? No? Does anybody else have anything else they wanna bring up?
Well, I just mentioned that several of us went out and purchased much of the rest of the furnishings.
Yeah, right, talk about the furniture.
Yeah, so.
Yeah.
Well, the things we talked about in the last meeting, the upholstery furniture that has been ordered. We ordered a desk for the director's office and task chairs at a reduced price. From Conklin, and, we ordered several small tables to go between the comfortable chairs.
Two,
Two.
yeah.
And we still need to get a rug for the children's room, and maybe Heather and Andrea, you can help us understand what parameters we need to stick to for an area rug, as far as what's acceptable for the building.
I would say that you don't want anything with a high shag or anything. You want something that's very cleanable. I don't know if you can get like an area rug that's like a Flotex or something that might be easy to clean, that's more resilient than a regular rug, but it feels like a regular rug. But definitely you want something that's cleanable that, I mean, regardless, you're going to have to wash it, clean it often. I know that other libraries that have area rugs do that on a biannual basis. They like have the full deep clean of those rugs.
I think just from a
What about-
mobility issue, the not
Mm.
having too deep a pile is also an issue there, and also something that, obviously is going to have an edge, but a low profile edge, so you don't have a tripping issue potentially with folks who have trouble lifting their feet up.
What about things like flammability?
Like what? Sorry.
Flammability, fire code stuff.
Talk to your
So,
local fire department. Yeah.
Mhm.
They will probably need to be treated like other upholstery I think it's the California fire standards.
Mhm.
right.
So I wondered if you could buy rugs that meet those standards, do you know?
We don't
Right.
know.
I don't know.
Right, you can, Demco sells children's
They do.
rugs, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe you can help us figure that out.
I can show you the Demco website.
Okay.
Yeah, so, okay, yeah, but we got 6 chairs from Conklin, they're new chairs with a 4-year warranty, and they were about $270 each, as opposed to $600 each for the others, so, so that was good, and then we got Adirondack chairs, for the outside.
Are they wood?
No,
Good.
they're plastic.
With the
They're,
heavy duty plastic?
yes, yes. So they were on sale. So we went to Andy's Oak Shop. The wonderful local furniture store formerly known as Andy's Pine Shop.
Moving up.
Yes, and the Adirondack chairs were on sale, and, so those were in Penny's basement. And they had just I was underwhelmed until I turned around and saw dark green ones that are just gonna look like they were made to go with our siding and our
They're really
site,
nice.
so they're really nice, so we can't wait until next spring to put those out.
They'll be in my basement if you
yes.
want to come see them.
So, we got 4 of them, all 4 of them fit in my car, so, cause they fold up too, which is nice, yeah. So that was good, yeah, yeah, so we have, the library has 4 plastic Adirondack chairs at the lake, at Elliott Park at the lake where the kayaks are. They've been there since 2014. They've been outside at the lake since 2014. And they're in great shape. They, yeah, they're in great shape. So
Given that they're chained together, they're still there.
that's right. They're chained together, and I think that these will also be chained together.
Or you
So-
write your name on them.
Well, that too.
Like the
Yes.
Forbes ones are not chained because
Okay.
people can move them around the property.
Okay,
They say Forbes Library on them. We did have some stolen right before we painted them, and so now we don't leave them, we do not put them outside until they say Forbes Library.
and do you put Forbes Library like on the front or on the back?
On the, like,
Right on the back?
on the front of the seat.
Okay, all right, and you use some kind of paint to do that?
We've done a stencil and we've done like plastic or vinyl letters.
Okay,
Done both ways.
okay, all righty,
It depends on like Forbes, it's like the symmetry of your name matters,
right,
so.
right, yes, okay, it could be library, so, okay. Yeah, we'll do something, so the ones at the lake, we have 2 sets of 2 chairs and a table each, and they are chained up, and the chains are long enough that people can move them around.
Yeah, and if they,
Yeah.
chain it, I mean, that
Yeah.
works too, if you just
Yes.
chain them in 3.
Right,
So that you
yes,
can,
yes,
you could still put them in the back with pickup, but
right,
we have.
Yes.
We have cameras.
right, well, we do have cameras, yeah.
North
Yeah.
Canada.
Right, yeah, we'll have cameras. So anyway, but we'll, I mean, everything that we buy, we'll write Tewksbury Public Library on. And, but most things you write it in a place that you can't see it. But anyway, that was just a fun thing to get. So, yeah, so I think we've ordered all of the furniture that we're ordering for now. Michael Broad is going to build a counter with some storage underneath in the staff workroom using the soapstone from the current library instead of the adjustable height desk. And then he might, build a bench, or something for in front of the window in the children's room, but we're gonna get our furniture in there and get it configured and then decide. So,
You'll live with it for a while and
Yeah.
then be like, oh, we got this and we never use it and
Right.
we really wish we
Right.
had.
Yeah.
Everything.
yes, and I think we have a lot of stuff ordered and purchased, and I think it'll be nice to just be there for a little bit and then have some flexibility and to do things as we're in the space and seeing how people are using it and what we need. I mean, some of the stuff that we have is stuff that other libraries had given away because they had more than they needed. We'll see, but it's fun to go in there and to start to imagine the cozy seating areas and the spaces where, where people will just be in the library. There are actual spaces for people in this library. So, which is was one of our goals. So, yeah, spaces for people. So, yes. Today when I was there were 3 of the workers sitting down outside that big staff, adult reading room window. They were all sitting out there on something, and, like they were having a little meeting or something. So it was just, that'll be a place where we have people sitting outside, and I was like, oh, look, this is what's gonna happen, it was really nice to see. So, to just imagine that, so it was good. Yeah, good. Okay, does anybody, so we'll have a meeting on the 29th, and then that meeting will schedule our next meeting. So I think we're good. Does anybody have anything else to bring up? Penny has something. No?
Fundraising, Friends fundraising.
Okay, so Penny's gonna give us an update about all the things the Friends are doing.
So many
Okay.
things.
Okay.
Lasagna dinner, October 3rd, Friday. Either make a lasagna or come and eat some lasagna.
Or both.
Or wash some dishes.
Or wash some dishes.
Buy it.
That's right, yes, okay, yes, okay.
Turkey trot,
Okay.
the Saturday before Thanksgiving, November 22nd. Still looking for sponsors. We have a lot of runners signed up, which is great. We have to have
And some walkers.
And a lot of walkers.
Yes.
Yes, we have a new category where the fastest walker gets a prize. There, well, it's okay. Anyway.
It might be Sarah, she has some.
Yes,
Well, yeah,
okay,
okay.
yes, okay.
And, the last thing is we're putting together a little campaign called Finishing Touches, where individuals can purchase items for the library, sort of a la Steve Evans' purchase of the lights for the lobby, but, that can defray the cost for the Adirondack chairs, some granite benches, putting in gardens,
All of those.
all those little things that still need to be done, dishes for the kitchen, that kind of stuff, so.
Yes.
They range from some thousands of dollars to hundreds of dollars, so there's something at every price point. And you'll be seeing more about that soon. Good.
Very good.
Yeah, and Penny really spearheaded that,
Oh.
and Penny is, well, yeah, Penny and Sam did that, I had very little to do with it.
Isn't
So,
that nice for a change?
yeah, okay, but it really came together nicely,
Yeah.
so, yes, okay, good. All right, anything else? No? Okay, hearing nothing else, meeting, do we have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I make that motion.
Seconded.
Any discussion about that? No? Okay, roll call vote, yes, Nellis, aye.
Down the side.
Cool.
Foster,
Jake's, aye.
All side.
Rockenbush, aye.
Okay, okay, so the meeting is adjourned at 7:53 PM.
Oh, good.
Okay, all right, great. Okay, thanks, everybody. Okay, so
Have a good
Andrea,
night. Oh, yes.
okay,
Yes.
I've stopped getting those helpful emails from Amplifund. And the last time I put in my report, it was a little glitchy. Is it? or is
So
it-
this has been happening. And so I think what you have to do is go to your account and invite yourself under your username. Sorry, my dogs just came home, so they are to where I am and they're just very loud. There should be a little mail icon and click on that. Try that and see if that works to start sending the reminders again. And they're switching over to, oh my gosh, is it Una Solution?
They've been bought by a company called Una
Una
Solutions or
Solu-
Una
yeah.
Services. Nothing should be changing fundamentally with the way Amplifund operates, but sometime probably in the next couple of months, you're gonna see the colors change from green to purple. And you're gonna see it start say like Amplifund by Una or something like that.
Yeah.
It's not a scam.
Okay. Okay, all righty. Okay, next time I go in, I'll see if I can fix that. And, like it was a little glitchy when I did my last report. And then I just
Okay.
haven't reminders. And then I checked today, I said, okay, I'm gonna check my spam box and see, because every once in a while it's stuff that and it's not going there. So I'll see, I'll fiddle with it.
And if you
Okay.
can't find it, I can always jump on a Zoom with you, or we can contact their support team and see what's happening. But that has been the fix that has been working for most people.
Okay, good. All right. Thanks very
Great.
much.
You're welcome. Have a good night.
Okay. Good night.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Night, everybody.